Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob ENT podcast, the best sports podcast in New Jersey. We got a special guest with us tonight, Nicole Gwynn. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited.
Thanks for hopping on, taking time out of your busy schedule. For us, I want to start off with this. You averaging about 18 points. You got the record in high school for scoring. Where did that scorer's mentality originate for you, and how did you cultivate that?
I feel like when I started playing basketball at a young age, like that's always was like something that was always in me. My dad played basketball at UConn and he was a scorer. So I feel like I really got that from him, his competitive side, and I just love to compete. And I don't know, I just feel like scoring gives me like a different adrenaline.
What is your favorite way to score and get buckets? Because I've watched the tape. I went back, looked in high school. You in college. You a bucket getter. So what's your favorite way of getting buckets?
I feel like when I was younger, it was so much easier to like get to the bucket. Like no one was really guarding me. But in college, I don't know. I feel like I grew into shooting, but I feel like my favorite bucket probably is a three or like something going to the basket.
Now for you, what was it? You mentioned it. So for college, between college and high school, what was the biggest like learning curve for you? Like what was the biggest difference?
For me, it was more so the pace of the game because I came from a public school and like most of the people I played with in high school at my public school, it wasn't like they were like basketball players. Like there's a couple people who ended up playing basketball in college, but majority of them played different sports. So like I had kind of like an idea of how fast the pace was, but like to actually like play for my first ever college game, it's a completely different speed than I think people will ever play. I think that was a big adjustment, and then also the mental aspect because everyone here is good or better. So it's like being able to still be content and know that you're not going to have a good game every game, or you're not going to shoot well every game, but like on to the next. So I think those are the two things for me.
Hey, I know, that's reality. You're not going to always have a big game, good game, but checking out the stats, you're going to see you in the box score every single game, one way or another. You're going to be in that box score. You had one of your biggest games so far in this season. 26 you drop on the champs. You go, I think, 8 for 13, I believe, from three. Just to your point, your favorite shot being the three. You was hot that night.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like for you going against the champs and be able to play that well?
I feel like it was a great feeling, and I'm still now like I don't really believe that it happened, but I'm glad that it did because I knew that I can do it against people at that level, and I feel like every time I'm given an opportunity to play against people at that level, like try I I'm ready to hoop, like, and I know I can do it, so I'm like this is my moment to really show people like I could play and compete at this level, and the feeling it was great. At first, I was like the first two, I was like okay. Three, I was like, okay. Four and five, I was like, this is crazy. I'm like, anything I thought felt like it was going in. So it didn't really feel like surreal in the moment.
I could imagine so. Like, you go back to high school, you have the scoring record at your high school. So you definitely have been in the zone at different times to score that many points. What was that feeling like for you to actually get the record? You got family there and you do it in the regular season. It wasn't even the playoffs. You got it done in the regular season.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I had a goal, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. Like because I got 1,000 points my junior year, and I was like, I wonder how much I have to get to break the record. So they always had the ball in the hallway, like near the gym, and I was just like, I'm gonna get it. Like I don't really need that much. When I was working to my 1,000 points, I would write down every bucket I had on my refrigerator. Like, okay, I had 13 this game, 14 this game. I was adding it up, and I was like, I can get it in three. So for me to get it, the record, I mean, I work out and I with my father like 5, 6 days a week. So I kind of felt like with work, something good was gonna come of it. But I didn't think that my freshman year that I would ever get the record. I never thought that.
That's dope though. And shout out to Pops for the
Yes.
support system, working out with you.
Yes.
Your Pops was a bucket too, so it's in the bloodline, obviously. It it just run in the family. Now, you didn't originally go to Queens, but once you were there, what about the university made you want to transfer there and continue your collegiate career at Queens University?
I honestly think it was the coaching staff. Like I was planning on going to a completely different school. I was planning on going to Morgan State. And then I got a call and I was just there, just like come out. And I was like, all right. So I came and I was just like, I don't know. It felt like home here. And I also had a
Mm,
lot of family here. And, my grandparents grew up here. So kind of was like perfect area. And then on top of like the coaching staff, I was like, yeah, like from the head coach to the director of operations, like I love all of them still. Like, and I feel like ever since I've been here, like they've been the same. I didn't feel like I feel like I made the best decision
mm.
coming here. So
Safe to say so far, I think it's you made the right decision.
yeah.
You play on big stages. You guys as a team, not everything has turned out to be a win, but you guys have competed and played well against some of the top teams in the country, and
Yeah.
that's only beneficial for y'all as a as a team, because now you get to see the people get to see, oh, y'all competed against LSU, oh, 18 number team in the country, y'all was still competing. So I think that's dope. I think it's great what you guys are doing, what you're doing to help with the team. Now for you, with the success that you've been having, I know I didn't, put this on there, but it just made me think about this because you mentioned you would write down your buckets. You worked up with your dad. You're at the college level doing the thing. How would you define success? Outside looking in, I feel like you've had success so far, but how would you define it?
I feel like I'm not there yet. Like I feel like for me, I've always set a goal, and once I got that goal, I was always like, okay, like the first goal was for me to get 1,000 points, got it. Second goal, go Division 1, got it. And once I was here, I was like, okay, I'm here. So what now? What am I gonna do? Like I gotta, what I'm saying. So when my freshman year, I worked to get. No one knows this, but my freshman year, I did come as a walk-on. I earned my scholarship for my second year. Because the offers and stuff was crazy 2020. Losing offers and whatever. So I walked on 2021. People don't know that. I worked my way up to get a scholarship. And then I was just like, I want to be, I feel like I'm not the best I can be yet, but I feel like I keep getting a step higher and higher. And that's all I can ask.
Shout out to you. They did not put that on there when I was looking at the research.
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I did not find that exclusive breaking news on the podcast right there. Did not know that. That's dope. And like for you, with the scholarships you said dropping out because of 2020, what was that mentality like for you to walk on, knowing that you had the talent, you
Yeah.
were you were that good, you had
Yeah.
offers, but to have to walk on, what was that journey like for
I
you?
feel like going through the process, I was really hurt because I was like, I knew I can do it. I just needed somebody to just give me a chance at that point. Like I had schools that really wanted me. I was talking to big schools, and then it was always me versus the transfer. And I understood because I came from a public school in Connecticut. Like you don't, what I'm saying, in Weathersfield. Like it's not a break. So I was like, I understood, but I didn't stop working. Like I still worked out. There's multiple schools that I could have D2s I could have went to, but I wasn't selling because I knew if I was at a Division 1, I could do it. I just needed a chance. So when my freshman year coach Audra Smith and Irving Manier, when they gave me the chance, I was just like, I'm going to prove that I can do it and I'm going to earn my scholarship. And I think my parents knew that if they did pay that 1 year, that's all they'd have to do because I would earn everything else. Like I was going to get it. And I feel like looking back, it was a great idea.
Shout out again though to your parents to have that confidence in you, because I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of parents are like, nah, you gonna go where the money at, we're
Yep.
not playing these games.
Yep.
But obviously they saw the work that you put in. It was just literally, it was only a matter of time before everybody else got to see the work.
Yeah. And that was what was most frustrating to me because I was like, I'm working out 6 days a week. In high school, I couldn't shoot. Now I can shoot. So I'm like, I'm getting better. I feel like it was hard for me in the moment, but looking back, like I'm just so happy how everything laid out because now that made me want to work even harder.
That's dope too, to have the maturation of your game to drop over 2,000 points. And you saying me in high school you wasn't this shooter? That's wild.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Nobody
wild.
believes it, but I could not shoot. I feel like when I was going into my junior year, that's when I really locked in. I was like, I want to go D1, and I just started working out. Like that's when I really locked in. But up until then, it was just like I was just hooping. I wasn't practicing. I was just hooping, and I would go like once a week with my dad here and there, but he never forced me into it because he wanted me to actually want to do it. And then I was like, yes, I'm ready.
Yo, that's fire, bro. Like that's just that natural raw talent where I just was hooping and then I decided to put the work in, and now this is where I'm at. The hard work paid off.
Yeah.
For you, you mentioned the goals earlier. If you could share, if you don't mind sharing, some of your goals that you have for yourself now at the collegiate level, and do you see yourself trying to continue to play after college and being paid for this?
I would definitely want to. I never really thought about it like before I came into college because this was the goal. But now that I would like to play professionally, like whatever that may be. I'm definitely interested in that. And I feel like now, I don't know, it's just, I have so many goals, but a few now is just like, I just want to be more consistent in every single area of my game, like percentage wise. Um, I don't know, like I'm a captain, so like leader wise, I want to be better. Passing wise, I want to be better. I want to average more assists, even though I'm off guard. Rebounds can be more consistent. Like I just want to make everything like I feel like I have the overall glimpse of it, but if I really like lock in and get everything down like more consistent, then I think I would be better.
Shout out to you for having to still trying to make sure that you have that full rounded game and always working towards improving.
Mhm.
Growing up, now you said it wasn't until junior year you was like, all right, I'm gonna take this serious. But was it just your dad, or were there other players that you looked up to that you tried to model your game after?
I watched a lot of LeBron and Steph Curry. I feel like I really, when I was younger, it was LeBron. I was obsessed with LeBron because he used to drive and do like moves to the basket and pull ups, and I feel like I try to mimic that. But as I got older, I started to watch more of Steph Curry and how he moves without the ball, shoots. He still has handle. He can still pass, but then no one knows if he's gonna shoot, drive, or pull up. And I feel like I wanted to mimic, having all three levels of scoring and not just be one dimensional.
Those are two great people to watch right there. To this day, still at this point, still putting it in, still getting buckets, still looking crazy.
Yep.
So, especially you being a shooter now too, moving without the ball, that is such an underrated a part of a game, especially for somebody that's a shooter, and
Yeah.
everybody knows you're a shooter.
Yeah.
So they're going to guard you completely different. So you got to be able to get easier baskets, get open yourself.
Yeah.
For you, if you could share, at what point did you know though that I'm actually good at this? I can play at the collegiate level. I can play D1. What point did that hit you? Like, all right, I can actually do this.
Um, I don't know. I feel like when I was a freshman or sophomore and like Division 1 schools were reaching out to me, and having interest, I really started to kick in like maybe I could do it. And my parents always said like, I mean, like don't ever say never. Like you could do it if you put the work in. So I was just like, once they said that, I was like, okay. And I would see, like Division 1 teams play. I would watch games. When I would have like like non-official visits or whatever when I was younger, I would go to their practices and I'm like, this is something that I can actually do. And then that's when I was like, okay, like let me really lock in and see what happens.
Freshman, sophomore year, that happening already. Yeah, that probably was surreal. I was like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah.
And again, I just don't want to, negate that aspect of your parents having a belief in you. Like, hey, don't ever say never. So
Yeah.
that was a great mentality to have. Before we go into the fourth quarter segment, which is kind of more of the fun, get to know the person, get to know the guest, little rapid fire. One last question for those that's watching this, those that might listen to this. If you could give some advice to somebody aspiring to be in your position, what would you say to them?
I would say stay in the gym and be consistent because work will pay off obviously in the end. And I feel like um My shots I feel like I've made now wasn't really made now. It was made over the summers that I was working 5, 6 days out in the week. So I just feel like over time everything will add up and build up more and more equity. And I feel like if you stay in the gym and stay consistent, you could do anything really.
Yo, if you're watching this, if you're listening, great advice right there. Younger players or players that's playing now, get in the gym, stay
Stay
consistent,
in the gym.
stay in the gym, be a gym rat. Fourth quarter segment, we ask every single guest that's on the show, what
Okay.
is your go-to meal?
I love pasta. So anything with pasta.
Anything with pasta.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite hobbies?
I like to cook. And then another one would probably be like just hanging out or going out with my friends.
Okay, so what's your favorite meal that you like to cook?
Either shrimp scampi or creamy chicken.
Okay. Okay, I can dig it. I like that. Shrimp scampi. All right, out here getting food up. What would be the perfect Christmas to you?
Say that again.
What would be the perfect Christmas to you?
Probably a tropical trip with all my friends and family, like somewhere in the Bahamas or somewhere, Cancun, somewhere tropical.
Movies or books?
Movies.
What's your some of your favorite movies?
Love and basketball, obviously. I love the Twilight series. Um, what else? I don't know. I like a lot of comedy movies, like funny stuff. I don't know, like scary movie. I don't know, stuff like that. Anything funny, I like to watch.
Okay, complete sidebar. Now that you're of an older age, loving basketball. That was a toxic relationship, wasn't it?
It was, and it definitely was from a young age. It definitely was toxic. And my mom used to have me watching that when I was younger. And I used to be like, I loved it though. I loved the little kid part. But now looking back, I'm like, yeah, it was toxic. Everything, the parents, everything.
I was the same way. Growing up, it's like everybody like, yo, I want to have that loving basketball. I want to do that. And then you got older, like, no, I don't want that. They toxic for like you said, from the parents on down. Like, nah,
Yes, everybody.
that was not. It was a good movie, but it was super, super, super toxic. If if somebody wrote a book about you, about your life, what would be the title of that book?
Probably the long game.
Mm, why the long game?
Because I feel like for me to get to where I'm at now, it was a lot of steps and processes and waiting and patience and staying consistent, but not seeing results for a long time. So I feel like that would be perfect for kind of like sharing my story.
Well, that's the title of the episode right there. It has to be. That's gonna be the title right there. The long game. That wow. I think that's even for those that's watching. That's a lesson in life, though. Like
Yeah.
something that you said that really stuck out was like a lot of the work, but not seeing the fruits of your labor yet. But
Yes.
still, again, to what you're saying, staying consistent.
Yep.
That probably is one of the hardest things to do.
It is. It is.
Before we get you out of here, again, this is Nicole Gwynn on the show, walking bucket getter, future professional basketball player. Took time out of her schedule to hop on with us.
Thank you.
Last question. 5 people, dead or alive, that you'd like to have a meal with.
Okay. LeBron. Um, Kobe. Drake. Beyonce. And I don't know. We'll just say Summer Walker. I don't know. I don't know the last one.
Okay, so that's a pretty solid table. LeBron, Kobe, Drake, Summer Walker. I, I I like that table.
Yeah, it's cool. Pretty cool.
You mentioned LeBron, Kobe, so I have to ask. Obviously, this was not. I said it was the last question, but you mentioned LeBron, Kobe. Who's who's better all time in your opinion, LeBron or Kobe?
I feel like LeBron's a better overall player, but Kobe's a better scorer.
Just let you know, we probably gonna use that clip and they not gonna like it. Just so you know.
I'm already knowing. But I love LeBron though. But Kobe, he's tough. He was tough.
R.I.P. Kobe. But again, thank you for taking time out of your schedule.
Thank
Y'all
you.
know the vibes for the bench mob. All of our family, our viewers, subscribers, make sure you subscribe after watching this. Share this with somebody. Share it with your baby mother, your uncle, your cousin. We don't care. Share it with everybody. But y'all know the vibes. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Bench mob, we out. Peace.